you're an artist, avoid these mistakes. So today I want to talk to you about the dangers of using AI, not because I think it's cheating, but because I ran into some issues myself and I want to help you avoid them. So let's zoom out a little bit. As artists now, we have social media. It is kind of seen as our job to explain everything, to make content about everything, to, just show who you are online. And that overwhelming pressure to create content and to always be on and be putting things out, ChatGPT kind of feels like a relief for some of that stuff because you can offload some of that work to something else so that your brain can stay focused on creating. Well, yes, that is technically true. There are a few downsides to it. Who owns these ideas? If you listen to interviews of the greatest songwriters, rock artists, Steve Jobs, they will tell you they don't know where their ideas come from. They come through them. We are like an antenna. And if you've ever experienced this, if you've sat down and you've written a poem, if you've came up with a genius idea, you're like, I don't know where that exactly came from, but I tapped into something that was greater than me and I brought it down and I'm able to then act on it and make it happen. In those interviews, those artists say I don't know where that idea came from. I'm just grateful that it came to me. And when we use things like ChatGPT to cut out that ideation phase, to cut out that initial spark, that divinity that we all carry as humans, that connection to something higher than ourselves, that if we cut off that connection to those ideas, wherever they may come from, and we rely on something else, those ideas are no longer human. And in a world with 7 billion people or so, I think that 9 times out of 10, something that is human made will last a lot longer than something that is AI made. It's almost like having a home cooked meal versus junk food. One is quick and easy, but the other one, this idea, there's something about it, there's humanness to it. When you are using ChatGPT to come up with your ideas for your songs, to come up with ideas for your content, for your music videos, for your social strategy, yeah, they can work. But at the same time, is that who you are? And will people connect with it as much as if you took the time to actually do the thing? As artists, it's your job to see the world differently from other people and express that so people can feel it. And if you're expressing the feeling of a computer algorithm, I guarantee you're not gonna connect with as many people. Let me tell you an example of how this affected me. So I was creative directing a shoot a few months ago. On it, we were doing some sort of dialogue. We wanted a back and forth between 2 characters. I roughly typed in I want it to say this, I want it to do this in the ChatGPT, here's this character, make me a script. I liked it, I read through it, I liked it, and then I sent it to the artist. The artist liked it, he ran it through his ChatGPT, he sent it back to me. We both skimmed it and we were like, this looks good. We showed up to the day of the shoot. We both looked at each other and we said, I have no idea what we're shooting today. None of us had the initial idea in their minds, the vision. I realized in that moment that I had over-relied on ChatGPT, on the algorithm, on these LLMs to do my job. There is a time and place for it, but that can come after you have created your ideas, after you have taken those ideas, you have put them down on paper, you have done a first draft of it, you understand fully what the concepts are, what the pieces of this puzzle that you're creating are, what the verse is going to be about, what the chorus is going to be about. If you need help with one singular line, that's fine. Giving your power away to machine, there's something about it. It's just not human. Now, if you're an artist and you just ChatGPT'd your lyrics, you said, help me write a song about this, here's kind of the things I want to say, and let's say that song blows up. You go and do an interview. You're on Jimmy Kimmel, you're doing an interview. He says, tell me, what does this song mean to you? What were you thinking when you wrote it? And you say, oh, I was going through heartbreak. And he's like, oh, well, tell me about the heartbreak. Why did you write this specific line? The whole concept of creating something falls apart when you don't actually do the creating. It's like when somebody has a ghostwriter. It's like they can't really say who they were, and there's something that takes your credibility way down. Like all the times we've heard all those rappers having ghostwriters or people not writing their own music, and it feels like there's a cheapness when the artist doesn't do their own creating. For example, the other day my mom sent me an artist and she was like, have you heard of these guys? I really like them. And I took one look at it, and on Spotify it said AI generated music. I had to break it to my mom like, hey, this is not a real artist, this is a fake band. She was so disappointed because she thought she had found something unique, stories that she aligned with, music that she liked, and she felt kind of like hurt, and she was like, oh, well, now I don't want to listen to them. And now I don't think that's going to be the case forever. I think we are going to go into a society where, like we had EDM, like we had emo music, we are going to have AI music, we are going to have AI artists. I don't think that is going to stop. But if you are a human creator and you are creating for other humans, don't let the AI do your job, the thing that you were born to do, to have ideas, to have vision, to have a creative spark, to have a unique perspective in the world. If you give that away, you're not an artist at all. Because we need to remember that as artists, we are the antenna for the ideas to flow through us. And if those ideas are not coming through us, they're coming from somewhere else, and then they are fully not your idea. Here's how I think you can use ChatGPT and not cut off that initial idea phase. Let's go back to my example. If I was the one to write out the script, here's what I want so-and-so to say here, here's what I want so-and-so to say here. I did a solid first draft with the knowing that I can go back and correct mistakes later with something like ChatGPT. I would still at least be able to show up on the day of shooting and say, okay, yeah, on line 4, we're gonna say this, but the LLM just took it and refined it. So I would still know the core concepts and the core strategies. And it's probably the same with kids in school today, learning, like you still need to learn those core things about your idea that make the idea good. If you are stuck on one line of your lyric and you can't figure it out, great, ask ChatGPT. So we need to reframe AI as not the origin of the ideas. It's a tool once the ideas are formed to then chisel away the roughness and refine them. But at least the core block of marble there is still your idea. Because as we move further and further into a world where AI is surrounding us on our social feeds, in our music, in our news, the human-made things are going to become more expensive. Why do you think it's more expensive to get a handmade Italian leather bag versus something from Temu? That is how art made by a human is going to feel when the art is really good. And I believe that in the future going forward, human-made art will just matter more. And so you don't want to give that away. So if you're an artist and you're out there creating, remember the ideas come to you. Be the artist, be the antenna, be the one that experiences those things and relays it to other people. Don't give that power away, because that's what you were born to do. You were born to be here, to create, to have a unique vision, to give that to the world, and that is your gift to the world. So do not give that away. Use AI as a tool, but don't use it as a supplement for your own unique perspective and vision. So don't do what I did. If you like this video and you want to learn more about being an artist that I can help you with, I've been in the music industry for 15 years now. I've been around the music industry, advertising industry, social media. I've been a touring photographer. I've written songs with millions of streams. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below, and I will be making more videos like this. So thank you for watching.